Welcome everyone to the Autumn Tour in Mario Kart Tour. Thank you so much for joining me. In today's video, I'll be talking about the state of Mario Kart Tour as I unpack this tour. It's going to be all city courses, including the return of New York Minute 1, the first time this course has been available in 37 months. Can you believe that, folks? If that sounds good with all of you, please show your support with the channel by leaving a like on this video and subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much for your support. It really means the world. All right, preparing that download. Now we also have the brand new ranked reward coming in with Orange Yoshi, and we'll have to see just what that is all about. So here we go. Autumn Tour is now open. Fantastic. We see LA Laps is in play and the brand new Vancouver Velocity 3. All right, rankings results. I believe I took a sandbag on that placement. So there we go. We're back to tier 52. Collect on those rewards. And it was a very fair group overall. It was just a matter of strategy and patience and wanting to pick out my spots for when to make moves in this game, which I encourage you all to do in having that control. So we have these new items. Wow, Blazing Eagle, some really cool names in the Spotlight Shop. I'm gonna go into that momentarily, but I do see that we are actually close to reset here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you all some bonus action right out of the gate. Let's do that today's challenge right up front. Now, at the time of this reaction, everyone's already had a chance to digest the tour, and I've read through the comments and whatnot, so I have a pretty good idea of what is available here. This is going to be a different kind of reaction. It's not like I'm seeing it all for the first time in this case, and I can just provide that macro perspective to where things are at with the game, and I think that's of considerable more value, particularly in a tour like this, since you know that I'm always eager and excited to share the optimal course coverage combinations that are possible out there. But given that it's all city courses, there's going to be no change in retro course or assumed value buffs that were to occur in this tour, which means that the list that I provided, I'll put a card up above, those still apply right now. They are totally valid, and that is one of the nice parts actually of having an all-city course, is that kind of coverage remains constant. And some players out there might perceive the increase in city courses overall to be one where maybe you want to start focusing on city coverage, but I feel like that really requires the necessary context, and that yes, city courses overall are more frequent, but you have to look at the individual city courses that we're looking at here. And things like Vancouver has been gone since December of 2021 at the most recent. And then the New York Minutes haven't returned in the aforementioned 37 months for New York Minute 1 and slightly less than for New York Minute 2. So on and so forth, right? New York Minute 3 was launched in the first anniversary tour, and New York Minute 4 was in the second anniversary tour. So those are, even the most recent one has been more than a year since it's been exposed. You really want to be tying up your resources and investment for that. It depends where you are on the scale of things, right? But we will go into more detail on that momentarily when I take a look at the shops. So here we go. Today's challenge is underway, and we pulled those 3 rubies. Look at that. We got the scouting report. Actually, I think that may have been 5 rubies. Yes, 5 rubies. Adjusted my lenses there right at the last moment to see what that was all about. All right, so here's the tour challenges. All of this is going to remain relatively constant, except for a few things that I'll be pointing out here. Like, these premium challenge cards have been consistent, and these are all just the basic requests that challenges that we've been seeing. Tour multiplayer challenges will be back once again, although this time you're going to be picking up coins from the track as opposed to item and hits and whatnot. So here we have distribution of total points challenge is all the same, and we still have the same expert challenges. All right. Now let's take a look. They had us racing on the Me Cup. So what's interesting here is I want to take a look at my ranked group, because this is one of the things that folks are talking about, the kind of ranked throttles that you're seeing. And it's difficult for some of you to make the progress that you can for this orange Yoshi character. And look, has the Yoshi's egg. It's a very pretty looking Yoshi, and it's themed with the state flag colors for New York, which I think is apropos, in addition to having the orange color, right, that I'm adorning here for the fall foliage, but all city value to start, right? So this is kind of the antithesis of like that yellow Pit Crew Toad, which had giant banana, and it's one of the giant banana drivers, go figure, with the most robust retro course value out there. In terms of the high ends, right, we see Sunshine Mario is going to be in the Spotlight Shop in week 2. He has largely nitro value, like the courses that are represented here. And that's one of the reasons why they do keep these courses locked up, so that they can promote a different set of drivers, ones that don't have that long-term value, that would be wise for any of you in the audience to invest into, but to supercharge the value of them now, right? So if this is a tour you really want to go into for ACR, for Ranked Cup, then, well, if you want that premium access to things, you're going to have to put it into suboptimal options on the whole, that is, right? Certainly if Sunshine Mario is your favorite character, we can make an entire optimal inventory around that by enforcing that character in the coverage optimizer tool. Link will be in the description below. Highly encourage you to make use of that, because that will allow you to pinpoint the precise items to both spend your rubies on for obtaining, or your coins if it's already available in the daily selects, and then what to upgrade in terms of ticket investment. So that's my perspective on the orange Yoshi. And now the Turbo Kart, very similar. So starting value on that. Now they will see some ranked value in the coming month or so, right? And the way how they do it for these ranked supers is not with the brand new paywall. Almost exclusively it's going to come in the form of these returning retro courses, like that of the LA Laps T and the New York Minute T, although usually the brand new course is being featured in that first slot. And what that means is that this is shaking up, since the Vancouver Velocity 3 in this case is in the 3rd frame of the cup, which is all the way down here. It's not providing access to the Me Boost, right, which is only available in the first track of each cup. So if we take a look at the loadouts here for New York Minute T rather, we see that this is where the Mi's are going to be boosted, right? Like your gold Me Racing suit and the yellow Me Racing suit, Nabbit and Mario here. You know, otherwise you're going to be working with these more standard options in this situation. So let's just go into a run right now, right? This is the first time to experience New York Minute T. Let's just go right into it, right? So the options that I have available on my account are Pauline and Musician Mario, both level 2, but the Lucky 7 skill is superior, so we're going to go with the Lucky 7. And then in this case, the only item that's going to provide bonus points boost is going to be that red Bullseye Banzai, something like that. Bullseye Banzai, there we go. And then these other options wouldn't get bonus points boost, even though they have a larger amount of base points. So it depends on the kind of action count that you can generate, whether or not that would be worthwhile in this situation, if the bonus points boost is enough to compensate for the 100 base point difference overall there. And other options that are more desirable, this is the one that's available in the Spotlight Shop that a number of people have their eyes on. None of the previous CACs have been optimal up until this point, so the track record for this one is suspect to start. You know, we see that it has access to the Singapores, the Berlins of the world, as well as a lot of city value here. So in terms of the long term on this cart, it could get there, right, folks? But it's not very likely, because it's already compromised a bit in terms of nitro coverage. In addition to that, the courses that it's covering are already well covered by some very good carts here. We see, you know, the Dino Jungle R is going to be the Ramby runner, and it's going to take a multitude of factors to supplant that and some of those optimal combinations, as well as does have a nice selection though of like these RMX Donut Plains 1 and the RMX Bowser's Castle 1T. You're going to want to reference that to what optimal carts in your inventory then you have access to on these courses overall, and if it's worth being patient, right? You don't have to have everything covered with the immediacy of its first availability, folks. Make the game developers prove to you this item's long-term worth, because if it's going to be available in ranked mode longer and accrue that value, it'll be available in more spotlight shops, and then you can have the validation required to go ahead and purchase this item. No reason to get that right now. But anyway, let's go in with the Bullseye Banzai, and then we have the Dragon Wings, which is one of the OGs, and Dragon Wings debuted in the Jungle Tour, so this is a buff for that. A lot of items are going to be getting buffs because the original top shelf loadouts for these New York Minute courses only had like 1 or 2 items in the top shelf in most cases, so these are all, except for that fair flyer there. These are going to be all new buffs that we see there, and of particular note there is the 8-bit 1-up mushroom glider. So let's do a run on this. Very nice looking loadout though. Look at that all red theme. So good. Let's see what I missed out on launch. Looks so good here. Not used to the drifting frame here on this Bullseye Banzai. It's a pretty decent multiplayer cart actually, because the hitbox is rather small on it. Hard to tell because Pauline has a very nice hitbox, so it looks like we're going to be going right here, and I never know where I'm going. So St. Patrick's Cathedral there we can see. Very nice. See, my neighboring city here is New York, so pretty familiar with the sites, and I love the aesthetic of this course. Absolutely. Really enjoyed playing in the first and second anniversaries, having the third and fourth variants of those courses come in. And the big one that I'm really eager to play is that New York Minute 2 RT with the Diddy Kong, right? That's the one that I remember seeing upon starting this game, and it's like, it's finally here. And we finally got one of those blue shells destroyed. Super annoying. All right. No frenzies on that run. 14K though. That's, I guess, the effect of it being a trick track, and we got Pauline in the books. So this is going to be like my ranked grind, perhaps. We're going to try to do this all in one run, but we'll see. If the runs don't cooperate, I'm not adverse to doing a little bit more in this tour. So what I'll do is I will give the LA Laps T a run through, because we have the DK Junior. So good. And then we'll let the reset occur, and then I'll go into the shops and provide some of that greater analysis that hopefully you folks have come to enjoy and appreciate with the content here. So let's say if you're not all in on DK Junior, who are you looking at here? Well, it's Coinbox, right? We have the King Boo Gold and the PD Piranha Gold, who's now a heavyweight once again, as he should be, along with Chargin' Chuck. Swimwear Roses, so there's, what's that, 4 heavyweight Coinbox options there. And then some non-plus special skills as well. And we have the Banana Master here, very nice, as well as the new Eagle Cart and some of these new options that have been abundantly available in the last year or so. And then the Banana Wingtip here, it's coming in kind of clutch. Most of these gliders are not very good. The Ship's Wheel is the best one in terms of raw coverage overall, within the web of assumed value coverage overall. So let's give this one a run. Oh, I remember when this was unranked in its first go around, and when I saw the LA tracks in that trailer, I had a feeling that either LA Laps R or LA Laps T was going to be in ranked cup, because that occurred at a point in time when, like, let's say these Vancouver Velocity 3s, right? They weren't all featured in ranked mode, and it seems like that will likely be the case for this tour as well, that they won't all be featured in ranked mode. Which means, perhaps at a future point in time, in the history of things, we will be seeing one of those that isn't ranked now appear in ranked. We're getting some very friendly bot activity there. We had 2 dash rings, very good. And even after all this time, I still have a good recollection of the route here in LA1. It's one of my favorite city tours. Look at that blue shell. That's actually good in this situation. Except for the bullet bill and all the bots that passed us here. So we're gonna make a little bit of an attempt to get into first place here. I'm gonna actually take the shortcut and see if we can get some kind of a really nice frenzy to go along with this. So no frenzy there. Triple banana frenzy would have been really nice. We have the single blooper. We dropped the combo there. That's quite alright, because this doesn't appear to be any kind of a really noteworthy run that we're sabotaging with a dropped combo there. Should be around 30k, 29.2, alright. Way to go DK Jr. on that one. Alrighty, so it's going to be time for reset after we claim these stars here. And where does that put us in the ranked cup? So it looks like we are 20k behind first place. This one might be difficult to get that placement. And then we have the 258Ks, and then that's the throttle space there, 6K gap. So if I want to be a player for Orange Yoshi, it's looking like we got to clear 58. Well, let's do the update and see what Vancouver 3 is all about. We'll check out the shop. Oh, we actually forgot to check out the daily selects and the daily spotlight. That's all right, though. We missed the opportunity to see that fire bro, didn't we? Oh, all right. Well, let's not keep that part of the program waiting, actually. So let's see. We have Satellaview Mario and Kamek that are available here, as well as the feature. We have Rosalina Aurora there for the Vancouver. The only really optimal thing that I see here is that and not even is the jukebox buggy, right? That's one course off of optimal in that situation. Otherwise, it's the gliders. These are ones that are still picking up value, but quite a bit of that has been nitro value and ranked value. So it's going to be gravitating more towards that instead of overall course coverage value. Now, in terms of the Miis, this is a topic that I want to talk about in terms of the macro view of Mario Kart Tour, right? Because I already discussed how by locking the city courses behind these special events, that ratchets up the value of these characters, like Pauline and Sunshine Mario, who will be the week 2 availability here, along with that Blue Eagle cart. Then it's forcing, or enticing, suboptimal resource investment from their players, and that's they have not introduced any other new characters besides Luigi Chef in the entire period that the Spotlight Shop has been available. So when I said that the Spotlight Shop would be the wave of the future, I didn't mean it as like a waving goodbye to brand new characters, and that's been unfortunate because many of us out there, right, have been just holding on to our rubies, waiting to be enticed by some new items and sets to go in on. They don't even provide a whole set, right? It's usually just a driver and a cart or a driver and a glider. We've not seen a DKG set in this situation here. And that has spurred on quite a few players to start investing into the Miis or start collecting the Miis, right? And what does that ultimately reflect then? Well, if you're playing the game for the Miis, if that's your end game, I just feel it necessary to break down what exactly that entails, right? Because so many times I hear within the dialogue that's out there that, you pay your Mii tax, right? It's that 70 ruby cost right here for the white Mii racing suit. You could have that. And you're not doing this for the white Mii racing suit, right? Because what is the value on the white Mii racing suit? Well, wow, look at that. 4 nitro courses to start. So it has access to Battle Course 1, Wario Shipyard, Boo Lake R. So it has 4 assumed value out of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. So 4 out of 13, very low percentage. It's failing the test here, folks. Okay, so you're not paying the 70 rubies for this driver, not at all. You're doing it for like the gold Me Racing suit if you're privileged enough to be at tier 80. And if you're not, you're still looking at other ones like the Silver Me Racing suit, who's been a ranked warrior, right? You're looking at the Question Block Me Racing suit, who in some statistical analysis by the data gurus in the community is superior to the Gold Me Racing suit. And, you know, I leave that interpretation up to each of you out there. My goal and what I do here on the channel with this platform is I'm here to share the underlying understanding of the system so that you can inform and instruct your own gameplay, right? So as much as I'm aiding in the instruction, that's being done by all of you out there. And it's really a beautiful thing to see. Going back to the time when I used to do the special pipe analysis, and it got to the point where I would do the calculations with what are your odds to obtain these things. And then over time, I would go on and read in my messages, like, you folks would have it all calculated before I would even come on and see it. And that's the beauty of this, right? So I want to get players thinking about the richness of this ecosystem and how the interaction takes place. So that you don't even need to hear it from me. But it's just, I truly am blessed that you tune in to listen to my content here as part of your soundtrack to Mario Kart Tour. It is very humbling, and I greatly appreciate that. But going back to these Miis now, what's the perspective on this, right? Okay, so if you're doing this just to upgrade the base points on the metagame relevant Mii racing suits, then you're doing it, you're trading in that 70 rubies for the 10 base points boost that you're getting with each Mii, right? Because there is no base points cap yet. So we have to assume that all of these that you're purchasing are contributing to that. At least at the given moment, that is true. In the future, that might not be true, since it hasn't been deciphered yet at this point. So you're trading the 70 rubies for the 10 base points, and the 10 base points are related to the bonus points boost, and that's how it influences your score, right? Like if we scroll all the way down here, that's your bonus points boost. And what that's doing is it's taking 1% of your base points and multiplying it by that bonus points boost and applying that single amount to each action that you generate up to an action count of 200. That's what's called the soft cap in the jargon within Mario Kart Tour. Once you go beyond 200 actions, so your 201st action and beyond will not receive bonus points boost, okay? But for those first 200 actions, you will be. And what does 10 base points translate in terms of that bonus points boost? Well, it is 0.1 bonus points boost per action, okay? What that means, folks, is that you have to spend 700 rubies to obtain +1 bonus points boost per action, okay? The level of inefficiency on that is so exploitative of the players that they know will be endeavoring to pursue those lofty scoring goals to the point where that should draw a cause for pause in determining if those pursuits are even worthwhile. And this is tied in with many components within Mario Kart Tour's economy since these full-scale changes have been introduced, such as the removal of drivers, carts, and gliders from the tier shop that are now offered through the Spotlight shop here, the Daily Spotlight, which is forcing you to use rubies, which in turn, you don't want to use your rubies to get duplicates, right? Like we can see, I already have the Kamek, right? I have the Blackbird. Oh, you would never use rubies to buy these duplicates, right? You would instead, if you want to level up these characters, you would want to use Coin Rush, okay? It's statistically superior in terms of your resource value to do a Coin Rush with your rubies and then picking up high-end tickets in your daily selects, which I can't show you here, unfortunately. they would be in the bottom row. And if you have some slots maxed out, they can be in some of the other rows as well. And then with those coins, you purchase the tickets and apply them as such and save rubies in the long run for a lateral move in terms of bonus points output with those level ups on your characters. But the thing is, in terms of the historical value of these resources, this is like hyperinflation, okay? And many aspects of the game are not keeping up with what's available there. And it's really kind of stripping the strategy away in a way that is unbecoming to see. And I wish that more emphasis and attention would be applied to this in terms of, you know, creating pathways for excitement and engagement with aspects of the shop that look, because none of these items are lucrative anymore, and the viability of maxing them out to increase your chance of obtaining tickets is so far out at this stage of the game, not just for free to play, but also for gold pass players, right? You really have to have a legacy account that started where you experienced New York Minute already, right? If you're saying, sitting here right here along with me, and this is your first experience with that, then you're likely not going to be a player that's going to be making efficient use out of maxing out your slots. Some people have, you know, because they feel like it's a more rewarding experience if they're maxing out those normal glider slots, which is the optimal one at the current time. You'd want to purchase your normal gliders, but that's suboptimal still to just buying all of these tickets at the premium rate, okay? You're never going to break even if you max out your daily selects to fish for the additional, you know, 1 or 2 tickets that you might be picking up per tour, depending upon which slot that you're going to be maxing out. The percentages vary, so you can use a calculator in order to determine that. But by the time the level 9 comes around, which is inevitable, seemingly, at this point, since they've had level 7, level 8, a quad cap now, and for the game to continue onwards, otherwise the inventory will be max for even players that aren't investing real world capital and money into this game, then, you know, it's even going to be more unviable from that point forward. And then it's like, what are we actually doing with these resources then? You know, in the resource masterclass, I said, use your coins, save your rubies. And it was for moments like this to have the rubies at your disposal so you can pinpoint and specifically select the things that power your account. And that advice was so valuable, but now it's the point where coins are pretty much irrelevant at this stage. So love to see them enhance the economy to inject life and strategy where it is starting to dwindle quite a bit. So let's do today's challenge. We have Vancouver Velocity, the original, my very favorite version of Vancouver. This is so good. Oh, and they put me in the Ramby Runner too. So good. And of course, I'm already turning the wrong way. That would have been the way to turn for Vancouver Velocity R, which, as much as I love Vancouver 1, Vancouver Velocity R historically is in my Hall of Shame because there was a little bug on that track where the bots would actually fall from the glider section and they would respawn behind the first item box and get a re-roll before you get to the second item box, and they would, you know, invariably roll lightning seemingly every time that would occur. And then it would just break your combo, at least at that stage of the game, with the kind of levels on the gliders and the combo time that was available for that sort of thing. So I remember I spent over 20 hours on that track alone. I've never spent so much on a single week on one track alone in a ranked cup before. And fighting through all of that to get the DCF nonstop combo on that. That was real epic though. We did get it, and we got the first place. That was in the heyday of my being on the wheel there. That should pick up a hit, but not from the one who I wanted to get it from, and now I'm getting slipstreamed. The we're going to slipstream them back. That's the way it always goes, right? This almost feels like a multiplayer match because they are taking multiplayer lines essentially here. Maybe we'll get a shroom and take the cut here. No, but we did pick up the double reds and got it. There we go. Very good. The Ramby Runner powers us all the way to 21K on that. Very good. And today's challenge, we have a greenie on this one. All right. 3 rubies. Look at that. They're contributing to the reduction in ranked rubies that we see, right? Because the ranked reward now is only 25 for first place as opposed to 40. And you saw from my multiplayer pipes, which is that new pathway for them to further provide us with those resources. Got 3 rubies from that. That's not making up for the 15, that's for sure. So let's go back to the Ranked Cup now and finish off with Vancouver Velocity 3. Brand new, and this is like the quintessential question, right, of the free-to-play experience in year 3. Now we're going into year 4, right? It's crazy to think about, honestly. In that we have a Lucky 7 level 1 and a Boomerang level 1, and we're going to go with the Lucky 7 because the probabilities are favorable for us in that regard. And I might as well, you know what? A little sentimental though with that soft swerve. I think we got to go with that. The hitbox size is the best for the Red Vampire Flyer, but once again, hitbox size is only relevant largely when with the coin box situation there. So I don't know which way we're going to turn on this. It looks like we're going straight. Ooh, this is brand new. Okay, well obviously it's brand new. The swoopers are a nice touch. Multiple paths there kind of reminds me a little bit of Berlin, a little bit of Amsterdam, what they're doing there in the tunnel. Ooh, a Baba, that's scary. That's, okay, wow, it's a big explosion radius there. Oh, okay. Gotta make up some ground here. Bob-omb Frenzy. Got the hit, that's good. Super Mini Turbo should hopefully take me. I pulled out the extra mini just in case. Now let's see. I should have fired that green shell at the swooper sooner because I ended up dropping the combo there. Really like that section, very nice. See the Aurora Borealis there, the Northern Lights, so beautiful. And, one of the hallmarks of just how gorgeous Vancouver is as a city, but we could talk about so many aspects of this course that make it such a pleasant race through. Very pleasant. Looks like we're going to get in with our usual 12K here, right? Oh, a little bit shy even. Look at that. Not having a cart definitely did not play out in our favor there. So, let's see where that takes us in the Ranked Cup now. 54, so we're shy of the mark on there. Gonna do some runs off camera, I suppose, then, and see what we can do with the orange Yoshi. All right, there's still one order of business to take care of, and it is the most important order of business overall, is it not? We have New York Minute 2 RT here. We have to experience this with Diddy Kong, right? So there he is. Who else got the buffs here? Lots of coin boxers got the buff. It's all about Diddy Kong. It's his time to shine today. And look at that, a supercart too. See, this is what the game looked like originally. And when I talk about the value of these items and how they've changed over time, this is a very good example of what that looks like there. And then we actually don't have a top shelf glider though. Isn't that something else? Wow. So I guess what was currently the only items that were available for this course originally, I guess, were the full flight and the 2020 glider. Everything else, these are all new gliders. These are all from 2022. So let's go into it. Middle shelf dragon wings. Let's see that section with all the geysers. From the thumbnail image, captivated my attention in early April of 2020. We didn't even get many hits on that red shell. Here we go. This is what it's all about here, right? Still keeping that combo alive. Look at that. Diddy's putting in work here, man. That's what we're talking about. Wow, look at that. We did a full, I guess that's not too surprising, right? Because this is a trick track after all. So we did drop the combo there. Sound horn frenzy, let's go. That's classic Mario Kart Tour, right? You're in first place, no one's even close to you. Give you that sound horn frenzy just to throttle the score down a little bit, right? Could have been a coin frenzy. But we did get 10K at the line, which is good for 20K overall. Oh, that's so good. Little Diddy Kong racing past Madison Square Garden there. All right. So landing the hits with red shells is in the books. And we also have 20K driving distance or more. All right, so to finish off, let's go into the tour gifts here and see how many pipes we can fire. I think we're just gonna get, oh, we get 2. Very interesting. Maybe we can pull a Diddy Kong. Oh, that would be such a nice way to end. Well, we got a green. Could be a Diddy. Or a Fire Bro, because he was absent from the shop right now. We got to go red kitty cart. Oh, and the Eastside Lightning Oil Paper. Happy birthday, Eastside. Wonderful member of the community. I cannot thank enough the leaders of the community here. We have Isai, Alpha, and Justin. Those are the OGs of the free-to-play community. We also have Bolt, who's done perhaps the loftiest achievement of all the free-to-play players. Turtle Dude has been so instrumental in expanding our knowledge of the way that these items interact within the metagame itself. And Elwood is there to provide us with all the insight on the token shop. So actually, in honor of El, let's fire off a token pipe here. We should have enough. Yeah, we could do 2 actually, I think. Let's go for it. Oh, wow. It's like they opened the floodgates on those. So what are we up to now? 11 rubies. We're almost there. We're almost there. We need 1 more to get to the 15 that are missing in Ranked Cup. To be honest, I actually, from my own personal outlook, see, this is why I always say it's never about me. When I say things like that, it's about your best interest, because with the tools that we provide in the community, not just here, but all of the Mario Kart Tour communities out there, the power is in your hands to construct the most powerful inventory for your specific desires possible. So I want to see the rubies in your hands, right? I'm not using my rubies, so the ruby count isn't as important to me as it would be for you, okay? And that's why it's important for me, because I want to see your success in the game. I personally like the gold pipes that they've included, especially that it goes down into 3rd place, because a lot of these items are ones that, let's be honest, we're not going to be using our rubies on them, particularly if you're using these tools, but it could be expanding your coverage or provide a little bit of joy in your life in a way where you could still be responsible and using your resources along the way. That was the case with the Queen Bee, right? Last tour, and for my all clear pipe. So I saved 10,000 coins by not getting it in the tier shop. That was the final tier shop, if I'm not mistaken, and then all clear pipe, so we got it for free. And there we go. That is where we will end off the coverage for the state of Mario Kart Tour. Would love to see them inject that enthusiasm and excitement through the Spotlight Shop, have that wave of the future that many of us in the community were so eager to see, instead of the focus on some of these lower value items being refiltered in. You know, this is the Autumn Tour. They could have done a lot of cool things with that. And, you know, when they share that passion and enthusiasm, we match it and, you know, go beyond that point. So, you know, we want to see this game succeed, not just in the current, but in the long term, right? And that's going to be done through making the Spotlight Shop more desirable to have those purchases, and cutting back on the exploitation of certain groups of players that support their product, in addition to controlling the economy within their game to make it so that it is more thrilling and engaging to interact with on a daily basis. And with those thoughts, I will leave you to the rest of the tour. We can continue the discussion in the comments below. Let me know your approach to the new economy in Mario Kart Tour, your hopes and aspirations for things to come, and we'll be covering that when the news breaks. So I wish you all the best and take care, everyone.